When the Nazis invaded, which was in March of '38, I was just 6 at the time. The Nazis came up in the middle of the night and slammed on our doors and lined us up against the wall. And I thought they were going to shoot us all immediately. Instead, they took all the valuables in the house. Gilbert and Eleanor Kraus, of course, are an outstanding couple that made a tremendous difference. If it weren't for the Krauses, I likely would have wound up, along with my parents, in a concentration camp, most likely, and never survived.
And my grandparents lived in Philadelphia. They lived a very nice life. They had 2 children. A Jewish organization came to them and said, "We want to save children." It was tremendously risky for them to go. They left in April of 1939 and went to Europe and were advised that Europe was about to explode into war. I think my grandparents were not overly religious people, yet they responded to that faith element. They responded to that need to do the right thing.
Well, my mother had registered me because she heard about that from a Jewish organization, that there were children that were going to be interviewed and some of them were going to be taken to the States if they were willing to travel alone. And they picked 25 boys and 25 girls, and I was one of those 25 boys.
My grandparents proved to themselves and to anyone who observes it that individuals make a difference and that we all make a difference in the world. We created the initiative to give voice to the principle of the United States, being that we accept people from all cultures and all countries.
I think it's terrible that our government has taken children from their parents and put them in cages and kept them separated.
And the thing that we thought we should do is honor my grandparents and produce some capacity, some financial capacity for a group of people to sort of fight this and push back.
The Kraus Initiative gives us the opportunity to fund congregations to be able to do really important work. There are congregations who are resettling refugees. There are congregations who are creating welcoming atmospheres for asylum seekers. There are people who are visiting people in detention centers, lining people up with lawyers who they absolutely need, with interpreters. There's volunteering that can be done. People can engage in trying to influence their elected legislators and can join in protests where we raise our voice. Because at this moment, it's crucial that we not remain silent and that we say with clear conviction, this is absolutely reprehensible and we're going to stand up against it. And we welcome every Reformed Jew, every congregation to join in this incredibly important work.
Please welcome Jill Kraus, Peter Kraus, and Elias Rosenfeld.
Good evening. We're excited to be here tonight to partner with the URJ and to support the creation of the Immigrant and Refugee Justice Initiative housed at the Religious Action Center. We look forward to more congregations joining us in this work. Together, we can transform lives and make an impact that will be felt for generations to come. Today, we are at a moment of crisis. Our immigration system is broken, and our humanity and morality are being tested. In so many ways, young people are bearing the brunt of our dysfunctional immigration policy. Elias Rosenfeld is one of them. Elias is a proud Reformed Jew and a participant in the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, known as DACA. DACA was intended to allow undocumented teens and young adults who have grown up in the United States and know no other home to live without fear of deportation. But now, with our broken immigration system, Elias and other DACA recipients are indeed living in fear of deportation. Let's hear directly from Elias.
Good evening. My name is Elias Rosenfeld, and I am a 22-year-old senior at Brandeis University. When I was 6 years old, my mother looked at the growing insecurity, violence, and anti-Semitic assaults in her hometown of Caracas, Venezuela, and she made the choice to legally move with my sister and myself to Miami, Florida. It was a brave and love-fueled choice. I immediately fell in love with the United States. I learned English in 4 months, excelled academically, and even made the honor roll 1 year later. Then, on October 25th, 2009, my life completely changed. When I was 12 years old, my beloved mother, Annabella, tragically passed away from kidney cancer. I still remember to this day praying to God in the hospital bathroom that I would donate all of my upcoming bar mitzvah gifts to charity if he could only let her live. Sadly, she passed away that day and I became undocumented because our nation's broken immigration system has no mechanism in place for when a parent like my mom dies. I didn't discover my status until 8th grade, when I went to the DMV to get my learner's permit and realized I could not even fill out the application. However, I refused and still refuse to let my mother's sacrifice go to waste and instantly thrusted myself into immigration advocacy. That advocacy, done alongside thousands of others, led to the creation of the DACA program in 2012. It gave me and 800,000 other undocumented young people who grew up in the United States the ability to work and drive in the country we call home. Since then, I have founded nonprofits, helped pass statewide immigration laws in Florida, worked in offices of U.S. senators, consulted on campaigns, and even received a Fulbright at Brandeis, where I'm studying today. But in September 2017, all that hard work and my literal life were put at risk as the President, Jeff Sessions, and Stephen Miller rescinded the DACA program. And just last month, the Supreme Court heard arguments on DACA that will soon decide my fate and future in the United States. My life is now one of daily fear. I wake up every morning and search immigration on Google and Twitter in case an emergency happened overnight while I was sleeping. I hide in my apartment on days that this administration has organized raids against immigrant communities. And when I received the news that my grandfather, the man who had instilled Jewish values in me, had unexpectedly passed away in Venezuela, I was forced to watch his funeral on my phone. For me, the personal is always the political. Overall, my life has been defined by adversity and resilience. Inaction by my fellow Jews is an obstacle to this work and an obstacle to my ability to remain home. That is why the example set forth by Gilbert and Eleanor Kraus is so powerful. It is our responsibility to make the immigration system more just and compassionate. If there has ever been a time for us to use our privilege, our resources, advocacy, and agency against these cruel acts of injustice, it is today and now. I urge you all to act. Thank you.